In June 2025, inside the formal halls of The Hague, the world's most powerful military alliance reached a decision that signals something far deeper than a budget increase. It signals a transformation in how the West defines security itself. NATO announced a new long-term defense framework, a commitment to move towards spending 5% of national GDP on defense and security by 2035. Not symbolic, not incremental, but structural. And yet, beneath the announcement, there was no unity. There was tension, resistance, and something more revealing than disagreement. A quiet fracture between countries that no longer agree on what they are preparing for. At the center of that fracture is a single country that refused to follow the new direction, Spain. What 5% really means and why it changes everything. On paper, 5% is just a number, but inside NATO, it represents a fundamental redefinition of power. It is split into two layers, 3.5% traditional military power. This includes armies, navies, air forces, weapons systems and procurement, operational readiness, intelligence and command structures. This is the visible side of deterrence, 1.5% modern security warfare. This is where the shift becomes strategic. It includes cyber warfare defense, infrastructure protection, energy grid security, supply chain resilience, civil emergency systems, hybrid threat response. This reflects a new assumption inside NATO. Future conflict will not begin with invasion. It will begin with disruption. But there is one critical detail often overlooked. This is not law. It is not enforceable. It is political expectation held together by consensus, pressure, and perception of threat. The real war behind the numbers. The push toward higher defense spending did not begin in 2025. It began with a rupture in global security, the war in Ukraine. Since Russia's invasion, NATO's strategic mindset has changed from deterrence by assumption to deterrence by preparation. But that shift has not been evenly absorbed. Some states see the war as existential, others see it as geographically distant. And that difference defines everything that follows. The old target that still isn't met. Before the 5% debate, there was the 2% problem. Introduced in 2014, the target was meant to unify the alliance. Instead, it exposed division. Even by 2025, some members had just crossed the threshold, others remained below, and a few still lagged significantly behind. But the deeper truth is not the number, it is the pattern. Spending is not random. It follows geography, it follows proximity to Russia, and it follows perceived risk. The geopolitical fault line inside NATO. Analysts like Rachel Ellahus describe NATO's internal structure as increasingly split. A geographic fault line is forming. Eastern and Northern Europe, the high alert zone. Countries like Poland, the Baltic states, Finland, Romania. These states view Russia not as a geopolitical issue, but as a direct security threat. Their spending reflects urgency, not debate. Southern and Western Europe, the constrained zone. Countries like Spain, Italy, Portugal, Belgium. These nations face a different reality: economic constraints, social spending pressure, and lower perceived military threat. This creates two NATO realities existing simultaneously, one preparing for escalation, one managing stability, and that divergence is becoming harder to ignore. Spain breaks the consensus. At the 2025 Hague Summit, a line was crossed. Spain did not hesitate. It rejected the 5% framework. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez made Spain's position explicit. The target, he argued, was not compatible with Spain's economic structure. It was disproportionate, economically unsustainable, politically unacceptable within Spain's welfare model. This was not a negotiation tactic. It was a structural refusal. Spain became the first NATO member to openly break consensus on the alliance's new strategic direction. The political response and Trump's escalation. The reaction was immediate and global. From Washington came sharp criticism. Donald Trump has long argued that NATO is structurally imbalanced. His position is simple: Europe underpays, America overpays, and that must change. Spain became the focal point of that argument. Trump described Spain as notorious for low spending. But in 2025, rhetoric turned into pressure. He warned that countries failing to meet defense expectations could not assume automatic protection. And then came escalation. Trump raised the possibility of trade tariffs against Spain, linking defense spending directly to economic consequences. This transformed the dispute from a NATO policy disagreement into a transatlantic economic pressure point. Why NATO cannot force compliance. Despite its military power, NATO has one critical limitation. It is not an enforcement organization. There is no legal penalty system, no binding court, no financial enforcement mechanism, no ability to expel members. Every decision requires consensus, which means every member, regardless of size, holds political weight. This is what makes NATO powerful and what makes it fragile, because unity is not enforced, it is continuously negotiated. The economic reality behind the resistance. Spain's position is not purely political, it is structural. Many European economies face high public debt, aging populations, slow growth, and pressure to maintain welfare systems. For these countries, reaching 5% defense spending would require one of three choices: cutting social programs, raising taxes significantly, or increasing borrowing in already strained economies. This is why Spain framed its rejection not as defiance, but as economic necessity, and why other countries are watching closely. The capability argument. Spain and similar states are also advancing a second argument, that efficiency matters more than percentage spending. Their claim is simple: NATO wastes money through duplication, procurement inefficiencies reduce effectiveness, coordination gaps cost more than budgets reveal. So instead of increasing spending sharply, they argue NATO should increase capability per dollar spent. This introduces a deeper question: is NATO measuring strength or spending? What the 5% target really signals. The 5% goal is not just economic, it is strategic signaling. It tells the world that NATO is preparing for long-term geopolitical competition, industrial-scale rearmament, hybrid warfare readiness, and sustained confrontation with adversaries. Not temporary adjustment, structural shift. But the problem is uneven absorption. Some countries can adapt quickly, others cannot, and some refuse to. A fracture that defines the future. The 2025 Hague Summit did not unify NATO. It revealed it. A stronger military ambition was announced. But political reality pushed back. A widening gap now exists between threat perception, economic capacity, and political will. And at the center of that gap lies a question that NATO has never fully answered. Can an alliance survive when its members no longer agree on what they are preparing for? Not just how much to spend, but why they are spending it at all. The answer will not be decided in a single summit. It will be decided slowly, in budgets, in elections, in crises, and in the growing distance between allies who no longer see the world the same way. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to USMag, and tell us what you think below.